Welcome to Forgotten Video Store, the podcast where we go to the rental store of the same name in North Hollywood and pick out one of their unique movies that you can't find anywhere else on the planet. I'm your host, David Murto, aka Daddy Big Cup, and my guest this time is a writer and a musician and a comedian, and also a philosopher. Sara Caplan is here. Did I say that right?
That's right, yeah. Sara Caplan.
Nice. Sara, thanks so much for doing this with me. Now, things are a little different this time because Sara is calling in from Toronto, so we didn't go to the video store together, but we both went to our local video stores. So I went to the Forgotten Video Store. What was yours called?
Unfortunately, I had to go all the way out to Scarborough to go to the Rob Ford Memorial Videorama.
Now, and, Rob Ford
was the crack-smoking mayor of Toronto.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, he's popular in sort of the suburbs of the GTA.
Sure.
I'm not a local. I'm not a true local. I just moved here, so I'm learning about it. I will say it took me like 2 fucking hours to get to Scarborough.
Oh,
so,
I'm sorry. But thank you for going all the way.
That's okay. Yeah, no, you're welcome. It was worth it. I was really happy with the movie you picked. I had a good time watching it. Unexpected, but in the end, I liked it a lot more than I thought I would.
So we watched a movie called Switch Hitter from 2005, and this starred Garrett Hedlund, good-looking guy. This was an interesting movie. We started out and Garrett Hedlund, he's like kind of a man's man, right? He works at the like a hardware store, and he like cuts the wood and stuff. He's like real strong guy. You get to see his muscles and everything, and this is kind of just over the opening credits. And then he goes out, has a nice date with his lady friend, Amanda Pete, and they have a lot of laughs over dinner. They're drinking. He drinks like a big old beer, right? And he's like the kind of dude who wears just like a straight leg jeans and like a polo shirt, that kind of shit. I'm thinking, okay, this is just like kind of a all-American dude. And then, like, she sleeps over, and there's a nice lovemaking scene where it's good old-fashioned missionary style, just straight ahead vanilla sex. He says, oh, you gotta leave because I got work in the morning. And she says, oh, I thought you had Fridays off from the lumber mill. And he's like, well, I gotta work. I don't know what to tell you. So she leaves for the night. And then in the morning, he showers. Oh, but when he goes into the shower, he's getting like Garnier Fructis and stuff. He gets that out of the cabinet. And it's like, oh, why didn't he have that already in the shower? And in the shower, he had like Old Spice and like Irish Spring and like stuff, and he gets rid of that and has like the Garnier Fructis. It's like, oh, this is interesting. And then he puts on his clothes, and it's kind of like a form-fitting jeans and a tight t-shirt that shows off his muscles. And I'm like, he's kind of got a different style going.
Yeah. Okay, David. I feel really stupid.
Why? What happened?
I think I got the wrong movie.
What? Switch Hitter?
The movie that I rented was called Switch Hitler.
Switch Hitler?
Yeah.
Like the German chancellor?
I guess if that's how you know Hitler as the German chancellor.
Yeah.
I think of more of, I guess, the Führer.
Right,
like,
yeah, the war crime.
But whatever your Hitler associations are, like, I guess both are right, technically. Like, I guess a butterfly is a caterpillar, you know, just different parts of the
larval stage
life cycle.
Or the adult stage, yeah.
But regardless, that's on me. That is the movie I rented and watched.
Oh,
fuck. It's actually a lovely film, 1998, starring Vince Vaughn as the eponymous Hitler.
Vince Vaughn plays Hitler?
Yeah.
Now, this was the same year he was in the Psycho remake. Remember that?
Is that true? I was 6 in 1998, so I wasn't watching too many.
Oh, yeah, he was
Psycho
in
remakes.
The Psycho remake where it was a shot for shot. Gus Van Sant made this movie. It was a shot for shot remake of Psycho with one change, and that is in the scene where Vince Vaughn as Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates is spying on, I think it's Anne Heche as Janet Leigh.
Wow.
He's jerking off. And so it's like, okay, we're going to take this subtext and make it text. But anyway, you watched a movie called Switch Hitler. Okay, this is unprecedented.
I like the idea that in that movie, Vince Vaughn was playing Anthony Perkins playing Norman Bates.
Maybe I said that a little incorrect.
No, I think, I mean, I haven't seen the film, so I have to take you at your word that that's what he was doing. But yeah, no, Switch Hitler.
What was that about?
I guess it's sort of like an Air Bud, but baseball and Hitler instead of a dog is sort of the loose summary.
So there's no rule that Hitler can't play baseball. Does it take place in the in the 30s or 40s?
No, it takes place in the 90s. It takes place modern day. It is a little league team.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Hitler's long dead. Right?
Correct. So what happens in the film is you have the little league team from the town of Hillcrest, Texas, and they're called the Hillcrest Broncos, and they're sort of like they're a terrible team.
Sure, like a bad
I guess
news
it's kind of
bear.
like dodgeball, also
Sure,
classic children's sports
Another
movie.
Vince Vaughn movie, yeah, Dodgeball, yeah, sure.
Yeah, Mighty Ducks. And it turns out, I guess, they're right next to sort of a military base that's been experimenting with cloning, and the clone of Adolf Hitler has escaped the cloning facility.
Oh, cool.
And
Oh, that's
stumbles
like
into town.
the boys in Brazil. Was it? Do you remember that movie where they were trying to
I
clone
don't know.
Hitler?
It feels, I don't know. It feels like Encino Man to me. It's like sort of like a fish out of water
Right. Yeah.
story.
Let me ask you this: clones, are they born like as babies, or do they come out like full grown?
Good question. This is the full grown kind of clone.
Oh,
yeah. So
cool.
he is the exact age Hitler was when he died. They
With the
collected some
mustache
tissue.
and like the comb over haircut.
Yeah, I guess some U.S. soldiers. They didn't really go into much detail in this. You're left to assume some U.S. soldiers took some tissue from the bunker.
Right, because he died doing autoerotic asphyxiation.
Hitler?
Did he? I'm asking.
I think he shot him. I think he shot himself in a bunker as Berlin was being invaded.
Yeah. Did Eva Braun go the same way?
Did what?
Did Eva Braun?
He and Eva Braun.
How'd she go?
Yeah. Double suicide. Very romantic.
Do you think Brett Ratner should do a movie about how stylish and cool Eva Braun was?
Oh, he actually directed this film.
He directed Switch Hitler?
Yeah, it was one of his early films.
Hot off of Rush Hour?
It was same year as Rush Hour. Yeah, so I guess it kind of
nice.
got overshadowed.
Back to back.
It explains Chris Tucker as the coach.
He's funny.
He's very funny. But yeah, so clone Hitler just wanders in to the Little League field when the team's practicing. He starts yelling at them in the German accent, and he really like snaps them to attention. And then he's very strong because he's a full-grown adult compared to these
and the rest
children.
are like little kids.
So he's very good, but technically he was cloned 9 years ago.
Oh, so like according to the rules, he's only 9 years old, so he can still play for the Little League team?
That's how they justify it. Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so they go on like a unprecedented underdog run and make it all the way to the Little League World Series. I guess the movie didn't do well because it really paints Hitler in a pretty positive light.
I mean, that's Brett Ratner's thing, right? He takes a monster and makes a celebration of them, right? Like Melania is his newest
That's true.
movie.
Yeah, I guess that is his thing. It's like it doesn't engage at all with the Hitler of it. It's like they thought of the pun in the title
and didn't say like
just rolled with it.
Didn't take any of his characteristics besides being like a strong leader.
There's some jokes in retrospect. One of the players is Jewish.
Ooh.
There's some uncomfortable jokes. But I'm really sorry. So that's Switch Hitler. But so Switch Hitter.
Switch Hitter. Yeah. Watched. Do you want me to send you the rip I did of the movie?
Yeah. Do you mind if we pause? I can just watch it real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I've just kind of scrubbed through it at 3x.
Oh yeah, so everyone's talking like chipmunks.
Yeah, it's very funny actually.
Yeah. So anyway, I was describing like Garrett Hedlund like after his like all-American sex scene with Amanda Peet sends her home, and like the next day has like a fruity shower and like puts on like sexy clothes and then goes to his job like as a poodle groomer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Garrett Hedlund seemed like a real man's man when he was chopping that wood and fucking that lady missionary style. And now he's like grooming poodles in like tight-fitting shirts. I'm like, what is this?
I know. When did this movie come out again?
2005.
It feels like Edward Scissorhands kind of homage when we see him at work, you know?
Yeah, but he has scissors in his hands, you know.
He doesn't have scissor hands.
4 hands.
Yeah.
He's like grooming poodles, and his voice is a little different. There's kind of it's a little more sing-songy. It's like,
yeah.
Oh, Precious is here.
I don't know. This is your podcast. I don't know if we could say this, but I mean, it comes across just a lot more like faggy.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you say that word and not me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
okay.
It did. Like, didn't he? In the first scene, I'm like, he seems like a real straight arrow. And in this scene, he is a little bent. And then he goes out and he goes to the bar with his friends, and he doesn't order a big glass of beer. He orders a Mai Tai. And he's talking with his friends, and they all seem like a nice gay community in the city or whatever. And he comes across Matt Bomer, one of our favorite gay actors, and they have a kissing scene. And I'm like, whoa. So this guy is two-timing Amanda Peet or two-timing Matt Bomer. He's dating both.
Yeah, I mean, wow. For 2005, it feels, I guess, right. It's bisexuals. That's why you can't trust them.
Right. Bisexuals are trying to trick us, right?
Right. Yeah.
This is the movie's argument. Is this movie biphobic? Like, because bisexuals, are they both totally straight and totally gay, just at different times of the day? This is what this movie is positing.
Yeah,
right?
it's a very like Jekyll and Hyde
That's a good way of putting
to
it.
bisexuality.
We see more of this guy's life, and he likes watching sports with the fellas, eating pretzels, drinking beers.
But wait a second, what's this? He's going to meet his friends at the Buffalo Wild Wings, but he forgot to take off his skin tight jeans.
Ooh.
First sign he's getting into trouble.
And the guys are like, what's going on there?
Yeah.
You put on your sister's pants? And he says, "Oh, no, I put them in the dryer and they shrank." Or whatever. He tries to cover himself.
Yeah, he's covering it
but
up.
But the fellas are giving him a hard time.
As a side note, I do find the way they chose to depict the straight men in the movie, like his straight friends.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they all went so heavy into sort of like Geico caveman.
Is the movie straight-phobic?
It's
heterophobic? Is that a word?
Heterophobic. I don't know if the movie likes guys in general. Like, the straight guys are stupid cavemen.
The gay guys are a little, like, stereotypical, flamboyant.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, who made this movie? All right, let's see. Okay, I'm reading on Wikipedia, 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
So, this was a Tyler Perry movie.
This was Tyler Perry?
This was, like, his one foray into kind of making a movie about white people.
Interesting. This is his perspective on white culture.
I guess so. I have no comment on Tyler Perry's thoughts on white culture. I'm sort of adopting a posture of sort of listening and learning myself.
Yeah.
If you can't tell, listener, I myself am white, so. But I did think his one friend Robert is very funny.
Which one was that?
That's the one where they try to go to the Cubs game together, and he's there, but he forgot that the guy that he's been dating sometimes part-time works as someone who sells caramel corn at Wrigley Field.
That's right, yeah.
And so he's there with his straight friend Robert, but then he keeps like accidentally running in to I can't remember the name of the dude that he was seeing.
Matt Bomer.
Right,
yeah, and then he has the big nachos, and he's like Matt Bomer comes over and he starts like scarfing down on the nachos, puts his face in so he won't see. It's real cool.
So good. And I can tell you at 3x speed it's just the sound of like just try to eat the nachos. It's so good.
That sounds cool. So what I'm thinking is this is like code switching, right? We learned about that.
It's code switching.
So this guy's like this Garrett Hedlund character. He's like he straddles both worlds.
Yeah, I mean, I could say it in my own life as a trans person. I definitely have felt myself in a lot of situations similar to our main character here. Sometimes if I'm hanging out with like guys I was friends with pre-transition, I'll slip into like I'll be a little broier. I'll let things slide. But then when I'm with my queer friends, I'm gonna be acting differently, and it's pretty normal. I think a lot of people code switch.
Yeah. Accents is where you see it sometimes. Like
yeah, totally.
When they're around their friends from, say they're from Massachusetts or whatever, they start doing that voice a little more when they're around those friends.
And I think like the prototypical example would be like black people kind of switching in and out of sort of AAVE as they move, home and friends and work or whatever.
I like the scene where Garrett Hedlund is like with the gay fellas, and like there's a football game on the TV at the bar. He's like acting like he doesn't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
I thought that was because we had seen him in the previous scene, like watching it with the straight fellas, and he was like, knew all the stats and everything. And I'm like, so he is not just altering himself. He is like straight up lying.
Oh yeah, because they have. I mean, he's in a fantasy football league with his
Right.
straight friends. Yeah, I love that scene. It's because he keeps trying to like come up with excuses for why he should be on the side of the table where he can see the game. Because it's a big game and the fantasy it has a lot of fantasy implications.
Right, but then he's talking about how like the tight pants that the football players wear, you can see like the outline of their junk or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, he keeps calling it sports ball.
right, sports ball. Yeah, I remember people saying.
Oh, classic. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did he get a home run? Yeah.
Then it kind of comes to a head when it's like date night because it's Valentine's Day or something.
That's right. It's Valentine's Day.
And it's like dinner and a movie. And Amanda Peet, it's 2005, so she wants to see Star Wars 3 Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. She doesn't get a lot of character development because,
No.
you know, she's a woman in a 2005 film.
Mm-hmm.
But we do know she's a nerd.
Right,
So.
yeah. She plays D&D. She reads comic books.
And this was pre-Stranger Things. So if you play D&D, I mean, you're a real nerd.
Yeah, you're a Dorcas.
Yeah.
But Matt Bomer at the same time wants to spend Valentine's Day together, and he wants to see Capote. Right, so, but the movies are playing at the same time. So what happens is he goes to see Star Wars Revenge of the Sith with Amanda Peet, and he's like, oh, I think some of that sushi was bad. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And then he goes and he runs out and he switches clothes real quick, and he goes from like the straight pants polo shirt to like the tight form-fitting jeans and the sexy outfit. And then he goes in and he starts watching Capote with Matt Bomer. And oh, this is cool. And it kind of reminded me of that movie, Mrs. Doubtfire. Remember when Robin Williams had to go back and forth?
Yep. So it's like sometimes, you know, he's getting rushed and then he ends up back in Revenge of the Sith. But
he's still got the eyeliner on. Remember that?
Still
with
got
and the
eyeliner.
little sparkly shadow around his eyes. But thank God it's so dark in Revenge of the Sith, one of the darkest Star Wars movies that Amanda Peet couldn't tell.
I like when they walk out when Revenge of the Sith ends and they leave the theater, and he's almost got everything perfect. He's in his, he's got his Ralph Lauren, you know, polo on,
right?
And he's got his unflattering sort of khaki pants. What he forgot to take off was the leather harness that you could still see like underneath the polo shirt.
And then she's like, "What's that?" And he's like, "Oh, it's just a back brace because I got a back
brace.
from like all the manual labor I do all the time." Oh, but remember when he forgot to change underwear, and then he was back in Capote, and Matt Bomer was like, "We got time for a quick hand job, right?" And he went, but he wasn't wearing the silk underwear. He was wearing like the shitty like Walmart underwear as the straight persona, and
just
Matt
like
Bomer's
whitey tighties with a big hole in them.
Yeah, it's like, what is this? And he's like, oh, it's laundry day.
It's good. I mean, he's quick on his feet. Hey, this is a classic kind of scene. It's classic for a reason. It's always fun. We love the switcheroo. It is, though, like, I will say, as classic as it is, like, the whole premise of the movie does start to grate on me.
Sure.
Definitely by this point in the film, because it's like, just be honest with them.
Bisexual people aren't tricksters.
In real life,
and we don't need to hide from the rest of the world. It's like, if anything, like, if a bisexual person is dating you, you should see that as like kind of out of any sexuality this person chose you, out of any gender identity this person chose you. In that sense, yeah.
But I mean, I think that's part of the problem with this film is that he is cheating on both of these lovely people.
So he's a liar.
Right.
He's not true to himself. He's not true to anyone. But
yeah,
the climax of the movie changes everything. After that crazy night at the movies, there's a really hot sex scene with Garrett Hedlund and Matt Bomer when I'm like, okay, gay people know how to have sex, right? The Amanda Peet sex scene was like missionary style, real boring. And like the Matt Bomer one, it's like they're trying all sorts of stuff, right?
Yeah, they're
all
going
different
through
positions,
every hanky in the code.
All different situations. They're bringing in different toys and stuff. It's cool as hell. And the music's better.
Yeah, you could definitely tell whoever made the movie is sort of maybe an implicit bias here. It is clear in the world of the movie, gay people have better sex.
Right, yeah. And better style, better music, better everything, really.
Yeah, I will say, now that we're kind of on that point thinking about it, the straight men are portrayed as like literal Neanderthals. There's only one woman in the entire film.
Mm-hmm.
and it is Amanda Peet, not counting Natalie Portman, who makes a brief appearance,
Right, yeah.
just on screen in Star Wars.
That's right, yeah, a film within the
Yeah,
film.
that doesn't really count. But Amanda Peet is the one woman, and she is just a huge fucking dork nerd.
Mm-hmm.
The ending of the film, David,
Yeah.
I'm not sure I understood it correctly because I just watched it at 3x.
Right. So Matt Bomer is like, after they have this wild night of sex, is like, I want us to be exclusive, basically, and like, I want you to move in, and they're gonna take their relationship to the next step. And so Garrett Hedlund is basically like, what? And so what he does is he says, Amanda, can you pick me up from, because as his straight persona is like, Amanda, can you pick me up from work tomorrow at the wood cutting plant? He times it so just as she's arriving, he like gets sucked into the big saw and his body gets sawed in half. And there's blood there's like a fountain of blood, like
yeah,
a Kill
I
Bill
honestly
situation.
Screamed when this happened.
Yeah,
I was not expecting
shit.
this.
And Amanda Peet is like crying and screaming and everything. And they cut to the hospital, and the doctor comes out to the waiting room where she's waiting and crying. He's like, we tried to sew him back together, but he was cut straight in half, so there was nothing we could do.
Yeah.
Then you follow the doctor,
who is, we realize, one of his gay friends.
Right. And he goes back and you see Garrett Hedlund. Oh, he's alive after all. And he says, did she buy it? And he's like, oh, yeah, she bought it. And it's like, oh, so this dude like faked his own death to get out of his relationship with Amanda Peet.
Yeah. It was very gruesome, gory. Like, you see that body going through that wood saw without any preparation as an audience member. It's not like we're told, oh, I'm going to fake my own death. Like,
right, yeah.
It was it was shocking. Genuinely shocking.
Because this up to this point had been a nice romance movie with some like intrigue, sure, but like it was mostly a pleasant movie, and then something I wish I hadn't seen. But Garrett Hedlund goes to Matt Bomer's place and is like, I'm ready to commit, and move in with you and everything. And Matt Bomer's crying.
Yeah, he's crying and he says like, oh my God, you're alive? Well, when I heard it, it was like, oh my God, you're alive?
And it's like, oh, why did he think that Garrett Hedlund was dead? And that's when Matt Bomer says, I've been hiding something from you. And he goes and he gets like this file of like secret government files and stuff, and his dossier. It starts showing him stuff, and they put in a tape in the VCR, and like it's like the scientists describing their genetic experiments, where they created this human being that switches like every 6 hours between being a man and a woman.
Like CCTV, or not CCTV, but kind of security cam footage of like children. Some have like psychic powers, and there's this one kid who's kind of, we see them switching, morphing between sort of girl and boy.
Right, and then they do like through different ages, and then finally once they're old enough, it's like, oh, it's Amanda Peet. And she switches into Matt Bomer. And it's like, oh, so Garrett Hedlund was dating the same person just as a man and a woman when he was straight and when he was gay. And now I'm like, this movie, okay, it's also like, it doesn't seem to understand that a bisexual identity exists. And it also has a very strange, like, sci-fi version of a transsexual experience.
I don't think the movie, or whoever made the movie, is aware at all that trans people exist.
Yeah. Do you remember that movie Chasing Amy, where it's like Joey Lauren Adams is like a lesbian, and then like she starts dating a man, and everyone's like, "What? You betrayed us?" or everything. It's like, did bisexuals not exist in the 90s?
No, they didn't.
It's a recent invention.
Yeah. The Matt Bomer makes this revelation, and then our protagonist is like, "Oh my God, wait, you were both the whole time?" Matt Bomer switches into Amanda Peet and is like, "Yeah." And then our main guy, which I can't for the life of me remember his name.
Garrett Hedlund.
Garrett Hedlund, thank you. Garrett Hedlund is like, "Oh my God, I love you. I love both of you." And then they say, "We love you too," but it's like one person. But the movie's understanding of like that person's identity is confusing.
The twist was like, it was a genetic experiment, which is kind of reminding me of Switch Hitler, because wasn't the Hitler a genetic experiment also?
And that is true. I was gonna say there's a few other things that to me were very familiar in this movie. Let's just look this up because it was that. There was a genetic experiment of the Hitler thing. Also, when they were watching, like when there's once where he was watching sports with his bro friends, and I
Sure.
could swear the Hillcrest Broncos appeared in
Oh,
a
wow.
broadcast on ESPN. So I was like, wait, there's no way this is the same universe.
That's amazing.
But okay, yeah, it turns out Switch Hitler was actually written by Tyler Perry.
So maybe both of these movies are in the Medea-verse.
I have to assume they are technically canon in the Medea-verse.
Wow. I love this movie. I feel like I learned a lot. I feel like I'm a better person for having seen this movie.
I don't know that that's true. I have a lot of problems with Switch Hitter. Switch Hitler, perfect, no criticisms.
Interesting.
Switch Hitter, honestly, I was left with more questions than answers by the reveal because they don't like sit with that.
Mm-hmm.
They make the reveal, they express their love for each other, and then Headland is just like, I guess I get the best of both worlds, and then winks directly to camera, and then roll credits.
You didn't like that? I thought it was cute.
I felt like they didn't address at all, for example, the fact that the person who is Amanda Peet / Matt Bomer, they knew he was cheating on them.
But
that
they had
wasn't
a
an
secret
issue
too,
for them.
you know?
Yeah, but like,
They're all
would you
keeping
want to?
secrets.
But would you want to move in with someone that you knew was cheating on both personas?
No, I guess you're right. But I love a movie that gives me something to chew on.
You're saying this was like an Inception kind of ending?
Yeah.
They're setting up for maybe a very emotional sequel.
Talking of Inception, that movie was a little disappointing because it's like, here's a movie that's going to take place in people's dreams, right? And I'm like, okay, like maybe Leonardo DiCaprio's best friend is a talking frog or something. Or like Tom Hardy like is having a nightmare where he has to go on stage in his high school play, but he's in his underwear and he doesn't know his lines or something like that. You know, like that kind of dream stuff. But instead it's just like action movie stuff.
I'm going to be honest with you, David. I don't know what you're talking about because I dream every night, but I only have dreams. I only have one kind of dream, and it's sort of a city folding in on itself, and I'm running on
And
walls.
shooting bad guys.
Yeah, that's sort of the only thing that happens in my dreams.
Okay.
To me, it felt super realistic, actually, that part of it.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks so much for picking out not one, but two great movies.
Oh my God! You should go watch Switch Hitler. It's
sounds
like a feel
cool
good
as hell.
film. The world is bad right now, and if you need some distraction from everything happening in politics and in the world, I think Switch Hitler is really going to take your mind off of
Dive
it.
back into Hitler. Have some laughs with Hitler.
Just a good distraction.
All right, to end things out on the podcast, I like to do like plugs and shout outs. So if there's anything you want to promote, you can do that. Or if there's anything you want to shout out, like celebrate or shine a light on, you can do that. I'll give you mine for an example. This episode, I'd like to shout out famous racist Mark Wahlberg. I want to shout him out for maybe his most famous quote ever, which was when he was talking about 9/11. He said, "If I was on that plane, it wouldn't have went down like it did. There would have been a lot of blood in the first class cabin and then me saying, okay, we're going to land somewhere safely. Don't worry." Okay, he rightfully gets a lot of heat for saying he could have prevented the 9/11 attacks, right? But I don't think he gets enough credit for subtly working in a brag about flying first class.
That's true.
That was a skillful move. Also, in this fantasy, is he landing the plane? Because he's like, we're going to land it. It sounds like he thinks he's going to land the plane also.
I think he's just taking command of the situation. I think
he's like the
instructing
big
pilots.
boss. He's going to tell the pilots what to do.
I don't think the hijackers don't get to the pilots in this fantasy, right?
Oh, he
so they're
stops
still
them
alive.
in the first class. Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, just wonderful, wonderful narcissistic bullshit from Mark Wahlberg. Do you have anything?
Really incredible stuff.
Anything you want to plug or shout out?
Sure. So I guess I got two. The first is I want to shout out teachers. You know, good teachers really change lives, especially increasingly if we're going to keep up technologically with China. We really need kids studying STEM.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way we're going to make sure that it's an American who invents time travel is if we're investing in STEM. And then we can send Mark Wahlberg back in time to stop 9/11.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's first shout out, big one. My mom was a teacher, so I think about Mark Wahlberg all the time. Second one, this is more of a bummer shout out, but hey, we jest, we joke, we watch feel good sports movies about Hitler, but boy howdy, the world is bad these days.
It's rough right now.
And if you're in the U.S. in particular, and you know some trans people, maybe reach out to them, see if there's anything you could do to help them out, because I'm sure they could use even if it's just your friend and you're checking in on them, I'm sure that would mean a lot. And if you're Canadian and you're single and you can marry some American trans people, get some green cards or whatever they call them in Canada, that would be good too.
I don't have much power in the world, but I do have a small podcast, and we love trans people on this podcast.
I knew this was the one show to go on to maximize.
You see us on the Apple podcast charts, right? All the way up there with Joe Rogan and...
Just right between Joe Rogan and Ben Shapiro, which is my other two favorite podcasts. So,
well, Sarah, thank you so much. I can't thank you enough for agreeing to watch these movies and have fun.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a blast.
You're a treasure.
I had so much fun. Thank you for having me, David.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Forgotten Video Store. Tell all the cinephiles and movie dorks in your life about this podcast, and don't forget to follow this show, because next week I've got an episode about a French children's film dealing with a magic spell housed in the brown part of a banana. Sacre bleu! Forgotten Video Store is a slop-free zone. We never use any AI for any part of the production of this podcast, not even the hastily photoshopped episode art. The music in this episode is Funky Energy Loop by Kevin MacLeod and Compotech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. Okay, bye!